So sitting up cross-legged, you could be straight-legged. Coming to stillness. Whatever you had going today, putting it aside. So you can focus on yourself. And what a gift to focus on yourself for 45 minutes. Amber is also the one who would always say, you better take care of yourself because it's a job nobody wants. So take a moment of gratitude for yourself for taking the time to take care of yourself. And then we'll take that big breath in through the nose. And as you do this, feel yourself, you grow a little taller. Side out. Settling into your mat, onto your mat, both mentally and physically. And sometimes that mental part, putting on the brakes mentally, can be a little easier than putting the brakes on physically. And let's do that again. Big cleansing breath. Do about six big breaths in through the nose. Letting out the same amount or even more. And then if it's available, if you can feel the lips, and let's take a few focused breaths in through the nose. And out through the nose. Keep the eyes closed. Turn the palms down onto the knees if they're not already there. And with the eyes closed, turn the head to the right. Come back through center and go over to the left. Through center, right ear towards right shoulder. It's always doing neck stretches with the eyes closed so that you don't overextend. We'll straighten the head, go over to the left. Straighten the head. You can open the eyes, take the arms up on an inhale. Palms together, look up towards the hands. Bend into the low back, and then hands will come to heart center, but we're going to stay with the hands at heart center. Take a breath in, press palms together, twist right, twist to the right, look over the right shoulder, all from the waist up. Come back through center, and then over to the left, look over the left shoulder. Through center, let's take the arms up overhead, fold forward, and once you're fold forward, walk out, walk the hands out, maybe touch chin to chest. And you can always bring the floor up. That's what our blocks do. They bring the floor up. Come back up. If the legs are crossed, we're switching the cross of the legs. You can move so you're grounded. Reach the arms up. Right hand down, takes the left arm up and over. If you look towards that left arm, you go a little deeper into this, and you could put a slight bend in that right elbow. Back through center, reaching up. Left hand down, right arm up and over. We'll come back through center, reach up. Once again, palms together, look towards the hands. Hands come to heart center. extend the arms out wide, palms down. And we're gonna twist to the right, right hand down, grab the knee, shift the gaze. And make sure that right hand's helping you to stay up tall. Bring the gaze forward and taking the right hand to the left knee, you're gonna tuck in round, pull the knees down, chin towards the chest. Lift up, stay with the arms crossed, palms together. You can bring the backs of the hands together, pulling the hands up. Oh, you're gonna say hi, Buster. Buster feels a very big obligation to be outside with me, even though he's super hot. Tucking round. The other two are comfortably inside, probably laying in front of the fan. Inhale, rise up. We're gonna go wide with the arms, palms are down. Left hand down, grab the knee, shift the gaze. Taking the gaze forward on the inhale. Left hand crosses, we'll do that same action, holding the knees, tucking and rounding. Rise up, backs to hands together. You can bring the palms together, pull the hands up. And then once again, tuck and round. Inhale, rise up, reach arms up, and let's fold forward again. Walk out. Move from the waist up and then take the hands towards the right. Your little side extension. You'll come through center over to the left side. And then come back through center. Rise up. We're going to take a rounded boat pose. So you can modify. You could just keep the feet down, lean back. You could lift and hold the legs. But we want to make sure we keep a bend in the knees. Arms wide, that's a little more for the shoulders, or you could take the arms out in front. Look towards the toes. Plant the feet. Once you plant the feet, walk the feet back a little bit. And you want the feet hips distance, because even though we're on our mat, we still want to have that foundation. Bring the hands behind you, palms press in. So fingers are spread, and you do have a bend in the elbows. You're going to lift a little bit off the mat. You might lift a lot of it off the mat. Another option is you could let the head fall back, reverse table. But we want to keep a bend in the elbows because we don't want to dump weight into the joints. We must muscles to do the work here. Lower down. Once you lower down, take the right ankle, and you're going to have to bring it into place over the left thigh. Hands are going to come back behind you. Give this a moment. This is a nice hip stretch, and you might even move the right knee away a little bit. So we still have the palms pressing in. We have a nice little bend in the elbows, and you have the option, you could lift up again. Maybe drop the head back. Lower down. That's a pretty intense one when you have only one leg on the ground. And do the opposite. Help the leg into place, and it could feel totally different on the side. This is my tight side, even though I'm right-handed. My left side's tight. Palms pressed in, little bend in the elbows, and then option to stay here, moving the knee away, or if you want to lift up, you can lift up. Maybe let the head come back. Lower down. Once you lower down, straighten the legs and sit up tall again. So you want to move so you are grounded. Point the toes up. Heels are down. You're sitting up nice and tall. Arms come up on an inhale. Fold over the legs. No worries about where the hands go. Just make sure they are resting somewhere on feet, ankles, shins. Rise up, plant the left foot, sit up nice and tall. Left hand is behind. We're going to twist. Take the right arm around the left leg. Look over the left shoulder. Come back through center, taking the fingers around the shin on the left leg. You're going to cross over the right. And then again, left hand behind. It's a bigger twist, a little more leverage here, a little more for the outer part of the hip as you look over the left shoulder. Come back through center. Sole of left foot is going to come to the right side. You could help it into place. Again, we're always staying grounded on the mat. Right toes are up. Sweep the arms up, turn, and you'll come over the right leg. Folding. And the option to use the strap is always available. You could hook the strap around the foot and use that as leverage to fold. Rise up. Bring the soles of the feet together so you're in a seated cobbler's pose. And you could move the knees a little bit, or maybe you're gonna walk out over the feet, which will definitely intensify it, or put your hands on your block. Rise up. Leave the right leg where it is, straighten the left leg, and then guide the sole of the right foot to the left thigh. Make sure you activate the left leg by pulling the toes up. Reach the arms up, turn, come over the leg. Or again, if you want to use the strap, feel free to use your strap. Rise up, plant the right foot, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to use that right hand as a kickstand. Left arm wraps around right leg, helping us to twist. Look over the right shoulder. Inhale, bring the gaze forward, fingers around the right shin, step it over. Step it over, sit up tall, take this a little deeper. And if this doesn't work, just come back to the foot inside the leg. Left arm comes around. Once again, we'll shift the gaze. Come back through center, plant the feet, sit up nice and tall. We're going to do one more round of boat pose. Lift up, and take your version of boat. Plant the feet. We're going to bring ourselves over onto our hands and knees, table pose. Once you're in table pose, take a little inventory. Make sure you have a good foundation. Knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. You could take the hands forward. And we'll get 2 more movements of the spine and we'll go into cat-cow, which always is one of those poses that feels so good. Drop the belly, shift the gaze. And then exhale, tuck and round, chin to chest. Pull the spine up. Lower the belly, peek up. Exhale, tuck and round. Keep going with this. Belly lowers, the gaze shifts. Exhale, you're rounding the spine. Mimic that scared cat. Take a few more. Coming into neutral table, we're going to walk our hands as far forward as you can go. Pull down onto the form, pulling face chest to the floor, bend into the low back. This is another one that is definitely a pose that feels very good. Keep a bend in the elbows, or if it works for you, you can slide the arms straight. Sliding the arms straight is intense in the shoulders, but if it works, you can definitely take that next step. We're gonna come up to table. Shins and knees come together. Scoot into turtle shell, go the opposite way. Top of the head down. Arms are beside you. Put pressure on the belly. You can move a little side to side. Rise to table pose once again. And we're going to take a few breaths in down dog. If down dog is not what your shoulders should do, go back or go into child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide, lift up, come into that inverted V shape. And make sure the gaze is at the center of the mat. It takes a little pressure off the neck so you don't strain the neck. Onto the hands and knees, table pose, and then we're all going to go into child pose. Big toes together, knees are wide. Push back. Once you push back, though, walk the hands out. Forehead is down, pressing the palms in. We're going to walk hands over to the right, just like we did in that seated forward fold. We'll get a side extension. Left hand can go on top of the right. Bring yourself through center, go over to the left side. Maybe placing right hand on top of the left. It's always a reminder that if you're holding a pose, you are keeping a nice steady breath. Come back through center, rise to table, and then in table pose with the back nice and flat, we're gonna do a little bit to work on hip mobility and hip flexibility. Keep the back flat. You're gonna lift the left knee to the side. Don't tip to the right, fire hydrant. Exhale, lower. Move with the breath, that idea of mindful movement. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Do this a few more times. We have to train ourselves to be mindful, to be self-aware, to focus on the present. I had one of those moments this morning. Next time you lift the leg up, circle forward. You ever are driving somewhere and you get on autopilot and all of a sudden you're realizing you're not driving to where you should be going? I did that this morning. Circle back. Lower the knee down. Let's do that on the right side, keeping the back nice and flat. Take the right leg to the side. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift. Do this 5 times. I was thinking about 5 different things instead of what I should have been thinking about, where I was going. And next time you lift, circle forward. And we'll circle backwards. Move that hip joint. Get it going in its full range of motion here. Lower the knee down. We're going to go back into child's pose, but this time add a shoulder stretch. Sink back. Walk the hands forward. Turn the palms up. Drop the elbows down. Palms come together. Bring the thumbs to the base of the neck. Point the fingers down the back. So you have a little shark fin here. And you could draw elbows towards each other. You could press palms towards each other. Lower the hands down. Rise to table pose. And let's thread the needle, keeping the back nice and flat. If your shoulder is restricted, the arm goes out in front, right arm. If you want to open up the chest, sweep arm out to the side, right arm. and thread through. Right shoulder, right side of the face comes down. And you could stay right here. Maybe left hand comes behind the low back. Put it in the right hip crease. And then you can, you can extend that leg out. Toes curled under. And if you want to get a little out of your comfort zone, lift the left leg. When we challenge ourselves, that's when we grow. Lower the knee, left hand comes down. Take that right arm back up. Place the right hand down, and we're going through this on the left side. Left arm comes up on an inhale or out in front. Bring it through. Set up the left side, just like you did on the right. Always moving slow. I'm going to move slow. It helps us to balance. Place the knee down. Right hand down. Left arm comes back up, breathing in. Lower the hand down. Take the right leg out behind. Flex the foot. Left arm's out like you're going to shake someone's hand. Look at the edge of your mat. Take a few breaths here in spinal balance. Lower the hand. Step right foot outside the right hand. And if you can, scoot the left knee back a little bit. You'll get into the hip flexor. You might roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. Plant the foot and sneak it inside that right hand. We're going to sweep right arm up into a twist. Lower the right hand. Both hands come up onto the thigh. And you're going to bring arms up on an inhale. Grounded crescent. Turn this into a mini back bend. Spread the arms. Look up and behind. Straighten the back. Hands to heart center. We're going to add a big twist here with the palms pressing together. Lean forward. Hook elbow outside the knee. Palms can stay pressing together. You could take arms wide. Arms come back up on an inhale. Lower the hands. Once the hands are down, lift the left knee, and you're going to press the palms in so you can step the right foot back to plank. We're going to hang out here a few breaths. Knees are definitely an option if you need them. It's not if we want them. Oh, nice, nice. Keep breathing. Look at the front edge of your mat. We want to keep that back strong and straight. Onto the knees, uncurl the toes all the way down onto the belly. We'll take some cobra push-ups. Legs stay straight behind. Hands are under the shoulders, elbows in. Lift the head, lift the shoulders, lift the chest, peeking forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up, peek forward. Exhale, lower down. We're going to keep the legs together. Push back into turtle shell again. Top of the head is down. Arms are beside you. Palms up. Come back to table pose. In table pose, let's revisit down dog. Curl the toes, lift the hips. Again, child's pose if you shouldn't be in down dog. Also, forward fold works. You can just walk the hands towards the feet, hang over those legs, take an inversion that way. Back onto the hands and knees table pose. And we'll take the left leg out, right arm. Gonna look at the floor in front of your mat, breathing and balancing. Lower the hand, left foot's outside left hand, and you can move so you're on the top part of the knee. Come onto the outer edge of the left foot. Put your hands on a block too. If you need to take a little pressure off or bring the floor up, you put your hands on your block. You can always use the book too. Plant the foot. We're going to work the foot inside the hand. Squeeze the left arm up. Take that twist. Lower the hand down. Once the hand's down, bring the hands to the thigh. Have a gaze point. Something you're looking at that's not moving. It's going to help you balance. Arms come up on an inhale. Take a big back bend here. I switched angles thinking I would totally be in the shade, but that did not happen. Hands to heart center. Take a breath in, and we'll twist to the right. Look over the left shoulder. Maybe go wide with the arms. Bring the arms back up overhead. Lower the hands. Once the hands are down, lift the right knee up. And then you're going to lift that left foot to step to plank. We'll come onto the forms. I always like to do this because it's a great belly, back, shoulder strengthener. It strengthens the neck. If you look at the floor in front of your mat, you strengthen the neck, and we'll keep breathing. I figure if I keep talking, you won't even notice you're in this very challenging pose. And then we're on our thighs. Sphinx pose. Look between the thumbs. If you'd like to stretch the neck, you could tuck chin to chest. Lower down, hands under shoulders, stay with the legs together. And one more time, let's take our turtle shell, counter the back bend. We go pose and counter pose. Use the next breath in to come up to table. And then once again, down dog. A few breaths here. And now, stay in down dog. I'm going to talk through what we're going to do next. It's called a crisscross crazy walk. I named it that. You're going to take the right foot and cross it in front of the left. So go ahead and do that. And then take the left foot and cross it in front of the right. You're working your way, crossing the legs to the top of the mat. Even if you have to move your hands up, move your hands up. This is a good challenge for the brain when you cross the midline and exercise. And then when you're at the top of the mat, get the feet in line with each other. Let the head hang, knees are soft, grab the elbows. You can sway a little side to side. Soft knees. Maybe such a bend in the knees that your stomach comes right onto the thighs. Put that pressure on the belly. Take the fingertips to the floor in front of your feet, or you can put your fingertips on your block. Breath in, lift up, peeking forward. Fold back in. We're going to sit into chair pose. And then come right on up to mountain pose, hands to heart center. Standing up nice and tall. I'm just going to adjust my camera because I am definitely cutting my head off here. Come up, step wide on your mat, facing the left side. And you're going to take the arms out wide, palms are down. Turn the right toes out, come into warrior two. Look down, you don't want your knee going past your ankle. We'll take a few breaths here, warrior two. Stay with the lunge, left hand down, right arm comes up and over, reverse it. Look up towards the right arm. I'll get my vitamin D today. Arms out wide, palms are down. Side angle, forearm to side. Left hand can be on the hip. Or left arm can be up towards the ceiling. And normally if I'm in the sun, I have a big old hat on. Rise up, straighten the front leg, left hand down. Bring that right arm up, archer pose. You'll feel the side extension all the way on up. Arms come out wide again, palms are down, triangle pose. And pretend you're leaning into a wall here. You have the back nice and flat. Look towards the right foot. Shorten the stance. Get the toes all going towards the short edge of the mat. And you want your legs as straight as you can get them. So it doesn't matter how close the feet are. You could also put your hands on your block. Breath in, peek forward, and then fold back in. Walk the hands out, lift the left leg, standing split. Give yourself a few breaths here. Left foot next to the right. Breath in to lift up halfway. Fingers are on the shins. Back is really flat here. We're going to hold this a couple breaths. And fold back in. Sit down into chair pose. Hold this a few breaths. Mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Stepping wide once again. Arms out wide, palms are down. Of course, we're going to do this sequence on the left side. So lunge into warrior two on the left. Look down that left middle finger. Reverse, right hand down, left arm up and over. Come back into warrior two. Stay with the lunge. We'll take supported side angle. Right arm up or right hand on the hip. You could come into the full version. You could have that left hand down. But make sure you're not leaning towards the floor. You want to keep that back nice and flat. Rise back up, warrior two. Straightening the left leg, we'll go into archer pose. Right hand down, left arms up and over. Arms wide, palms down, triangle pose. Left hand is down. We reach that right arm up. And same thing, you don't want to lean towards the floor. So the gaze can be out to the side or up towards the hand. Look towards the left foot. We're going to shorten the stance again. Feet are planted. Toes go the same direction into pyramid pose. Breath in to lift up. Fold back in. It's an intense hamstring stretch. That's what the translation is. And again, coming into standing splits, lifting the right leg. You might walk the hands a little closer to the foot, make this more challenging. If you need a little more support, walk the hands out in front a little more, create a tripod. We'll take right foot next to left, breath in to lift up halfway. I don't know if I said that was the last fierce pose, but we're gonna sneak one more in. Sit low into chair. Come up to mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. We're going to take a rounded tree, and also we'll do a rounded gentleman's pose before we transition back to the mat. So start by pulling the right knee up. Bring the fingers around the shin. That gets the knee nice and high. And then you could take and guide the foot over. Take the ankle over the thigh. So we did this when we were seated. An option to sit down into that one-legged chair, which would not be a good chair. We'll come back up, lower the foot, do the same, pull the left knee in, pull it up, get that knee nice and high. And then you could cross the ankle, even if you're guiding it into place, guide it into place. Don't clench those right toes. Hands to heart center and sink down. Rise up, draw that knee in, place the foot down. Folding forward, you're just gonna let the arms hang. Circle them in a few times. Keep that micro bend in the knees, circle out. Lift up halfway, taking arms out wide, palms down like you have wings. Peek forward. Hold this for 3, 2, 1. Fold back in and root and rise up through mountain pose. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Standing up nice and tall again, we're going to take tree pose. So you can start with a kickstand, or like we did when we were seated, you could pull foot to thigh. Just don't put the foot on the knee. We could have the foot at the ankle, the calf, the thigh. You could hold it in place, or you could push the thigh and the foot together and get some branches. Maybe move a little, challenge the balance. Early in the day, my balance is much better than later in the day. And let's release, go the opposite way. Take it on the opposite side. You open the knee to the side, but not turning the body to the side. If you notice one side is a little different, a little easier, a little more challenging, it's normal. We overuse one side of the body. We have to balance out. That's what we're doing. We're trying to balance out. Lower down, come back into your fold. This time, maybe grab the elbows, have a really big bend in the knees, or you could take the hands behind the calves. Breath in, lifting up halfway, fingers on the shins once again as you peek forward. Fold back in, all the way on up through mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. We are going to do one more balancing sequence. Look down at your feet, have a little space between the feet. And it's nice to put hands on the hips just so you make sure you're not leaning to one side. It also sends that signal to the brain you're touching something. Kind of cheating the brain here, playing a trick on the brain. Pull, let's start with the right leg coming up. Right leg comes up, majorette. And then extend the leg out in front. Hold it there for 3. Maybe take the arms up for 2. 1, bend the knee once again. Place the right foot down. And let's do the same thing on the opposite side. Stand up nice and tall, but look down. Look down. You're not clenching the toes. You have your gaze point. You're going to pull the right knee up. And then without leaning backwards, push that leg out in front. Maybe add the arms. Take one more full breath here. Bend the knee. Lower down. We're going to come down onto the mat. So let's take a yoga squat first. Angle the toes out, heels in. Sink low into that yoga squat. And you can sit on your block if you need to. If you know you shouldn't do this, just come right onto your mat. Sometimes the knees aren't not in shape to do this, and it's okay. And now sit down on the mat. Make sure you're in the middle of the mat. Walk the feet back just like we did earlier, only this time, arms out in front, palms are forward, and you're slowly coming onto your back. Using the core. You can always bring the hands behind you if you need to support the back. Slow as you can go. Keep the feet planted so you support yourself. Once you are on your back, pull the knees in. Push the feet up towards the ceiling or the very blue sky. Ten full breaths here. Bring the knees in. Arms are wide, palms are up. Spinal twist, knees right, turn the head left. Come through center. Knees go left and we'll turn the head right. Come back to center and find your final pose. Find your place of rest, giving yourself some time in Shavasana. And if you'd like to continue on in Shavasana, you can just ignore my cues and stay as long as you would like. If you're ready to move on, stretch out nice and long. And we'll pull the knees back in. Come onto your side. Up to seated. Eyes closed, hands at heart center. Take a big, big breath in through the nose. Let it all go. Thank you as always for taking time out of your day to take care of yourself. Namaste. Well, thank you, everyone.